All right, good evening and welcome to our stream right here. Of course, we do apologize for the late start due to some difficulties from our end, but it's the Women's League happening right now. Premier League Women's game happening. It's between the Portsmouth Bombers and Southeast right now. Game is at 8 minutes into play. And of course, the Southeast team in orange and the Bombers in purple tonight from Portsmouth. So far, the score is 0-0. And of course, that's the score from the DFA Technical Center. Shot, and it's the first goal. First goal. Portsmouth with their first goal in. That's the score from the DFA Technical Center. Shot, and it's the first goal. The number 8, Joyce Oludoyi, scoring the first goal for Portsmouth. And that's the first goal coming in the 9th minute of play for Portsmouth. So Portsmouth have taken the edge and the lead in this game from the... Okay, we do apologize. We're just getting a correction from our official. It's Patricia Pierre-Louis. So do apologize for that. Patricia Pierre-Louis is the goal scorer. The number 9, Patricia Pierre-Louis, the goal scorer. Do apologies for the wrong player there. So in the 9th minute, Patricia Pierre-Louis scores. And Southeast attempting to penetrate down through to the middle, holding the ball in through to the middle there. Gets intercepted on a 2 versus 1. Chips it over on the back line. Center back holds on for Portsmouth. Long one forward. And there's going to be a run. Goalkeeper comes out, gives it a hard slam down through to midfield. Straight into the hands of the goalkeeper. Little miss by the Southeast goalkeeper, Semaya Charles. Almost letting that one slip. Oh, it's a good turn by the number 17. Kaylee Jean-Jacques doesn't quite finish off on the turn. Passes it to Zaria Pascal. Zaria Pascal gets through to Kelsey Hussey, national player, and Kelsey Hussey losing a bit of fuel in the tank. National player, of course, Kelsey Hussey, one of our national stars, gets the intercept. Plays it into the middle, and another intercept through to the middle. Southeast looking to come back from the goal scored by Portsmouth, and it's a Portsmouth intercept on the back line. Centre back pushing forward into midfield, and it's another back-to-back steps. Good turnaround by Southeast, pushing through. It's going to be 2-on-1, and she loses the challenge on the far end in the shadows. Still keeps the ball in play. Beats one, still holds on to it, crosses it in, and they still hold on to it on the far end. Playing it in from the left side, chips it in, and the number 11, Ciara Lee, gets the interceptor for Portsmouth. Southeast, good turn there, down through to the middle, advancing forward. She has the option, weighing her options in, pushes through, shot! And it gets blocked. Zaria Pascal, the number 10, with that attempt. So we're going to have the first corner for Southeast in this 1-0. So far, results from the Portsmouth Technical Center. Thank you very much for joining us. We are being streamed live with the services of the wonderful folks from Stream Genius tonight. Do apologize again for the delay in start. So Southeast corner, keeps it low. Intercept by Portsmouth. Holds it through. A little bit of a slip between the legs. Pushes through. Hussey And a foul there on Chastity Baron for Portsmouth. SouthEast retake possession. Shot at goal, and it is just extremely wide. PLW pushing down through to the middle. Back to PLW. Casey. Intercept. Back to Casey. Casey is under a little bit of pressure. Kelsey putting her under a little bit of pressure, just kind of forcing her into that small corner there. And PLW with a good shadow. She was looking for Kaylee Jean-Jacques and didn't quite get to Kaylee, but that was a good shadow defensively by Jessica PLW. Portsmouth playing down through to the middle. SouthEast has been knocking on that door. They've been a bit dominant on the possession, playing majority of the attacks from the left side as they're doing right now. Pulls back a little bit, slides one into the middle, gets through, and a bit of a mistouch by her for SouthEast. But a quick counter coming through, and I think she will just let the ball slide out of play. Portsmouth retake possession. Okay, linesman with the assistant of the referee deciding that SouthEast have taken back possession from the far end. That's a high one. Comes back down. Deflective bounce. Doesn't quite get the finishing touches on it. Back down to control. Far end play. She makes herself available and just spreads it a bit too much to the left. Instead of probably attempting to strike it straighter. But she had the idea. Chastity making herself available just off the 6-yard box. SouthEast from the back line playing deep forward. In through to the middle. Turn through. Casey pushing forward, or attempting to push forward, and Hussey gets the intercept on the right wing. She's looking for options. Plays through to Casey, and of course Portsmouth take back possession, playing it onto the back line. PLW shooting forward. No one there to answer the response for her pass. Good chip over by SouthEast, looking for the option to drive through. 2-on-1, 2, pushing forward. And she doesn't push forward with it. I suspect she felt she may have fallen into offside and did not want to further put herself offside. I suspect that is what she felt. But so far, it is 1-0. Goal coming from Patricia PLW in the 9th minute of play in favor of Portsmouth. So Portsmouth taking the advantage very early. Some showers throughout the day. Expecting some showers. And of course, a quick counter coming through from the far end. 2 options inside, chips it in, straight into the hands of the goalkeeper, and that was a rather easy save for goalkeeper Samia Charles. Portsmouth with a throw in from the far end. Keeps it into play, keeps it low. Drives it from the right side but gets an intercept. Southeast attempting to penetrate it down through to the middle. Decides to keep it on the wing. Right, left wing pushing forward. She has two options inside. Pulls back a little bit to give herself a little bit more of comfort. Slows down the play. Chips it inside. Looks for options and straight into the goalkeeper's hands. Hussey gets the intercept. Looking for options. One-on-one. Back to Hussey. National player Hussey. And we have a player down for Southeast. .20 minutes into play at the Stock Farm Technical Center. Drop ball. Pierre-Louis pushes through into the middle, tongue to the right wing. Takes her time with it. She has one option in and she gets put under a bit of pressure on the far end. Corner. Portsmouth's second corner for the game. Keeps it low. Looking for the option out. Shot at goal and it scores! This time it's Jessica Pierre-Louis with number 2 for Portsmouth. Keeps it low. So that's the second goal for Portsmouth. Shot this time coming from Jessica Pierre-Louis. So the Pierre-Louis sisters have one apiece. So one apiece for the Pierre-Louis sisters, one for Patricia, one for Jessica, one coming in the 9th minute, one coming in the 20th minute, as Southeast find themselves in a bit of an early predicament. Could this be a turn of events? For Southeast attempting the drive. Jean-Jacques from the right side. It's a 2-on-1 shot and an attempted defensive. She attempted to defensively put it out. Jessica been playing almost the entire field from defense all the way to forward, striking, of course, even scoring. Jessica Pierre-Louis. Kaylee. She has Hussey as an option. It's a 3-on-2, taking her time. Casey. It's 1-on-1 right now with Casey. Casey puts under a bit of pressure. She beats the pressure. Shot inside. And it's defensively put out. Jessica, of course, playing a mighty role on defense tonight. The second corner in favor tonight of Southeast. All right, well, it's not a corner. It looks like it's going to be a goal kick. I guess the last touch was of Kaylee Jean-Jacques. So Jessica Pierre will get to play back in. Joyce Oloduyu. Still running behind the ball. Rosalina playing it all the way back. Ciara push it forward, gets the intercept. It's back down. Kelsey Hussey. Hussey to Kaylee. Kaylee on the right side. Chastity doesn't put her under too much pressure, and there's nobody down the middle to answer. At least not deep inside the 18-yard box. It was just off 18. And sort of playing that shot a bit hasty, not taking her time with that shot. But Portsmouth get back possession. That's a good intercept by the number 4. That's Rian John Baptist for Southeast. Of course, national player Rian John Baptist. So a number of national, apologies, not national player, but a number of national players playing tonight here in this game. Pielwe to Rosalina. Back to Casey. Pielwe again. She's under a bit of pressure. Inviting herself into that pressure, then gets intercepted. Kaylee to the number 10, Zaria. Looking for options to push in, and she's put under pressure herself. Holds on to it, looking for somebody to cross it to, doesn't get the option, and actually gets the ball taken from her. But they do hold on to a possession. Rian to Kaylee. Kaylee still from the right side. Crosses it in. Attempt down for to the middle. Crosses it left. Recycles back to the left side. Looking for some options. Or will she take a shot at goal? Shot! And it's wide. (2-0) in favor of Portsmouth in this women's encounter from the Stock Farm Technical Center on this rainy day. In general, it's a rather rainy day and still rainy conditions. Kaylee Jean-Jacques gets the intercept. Gets intercepted by Shanita Casey, the number 14 for Portsmouth. So Southeast pick up possession in their striking territory. Good turn. Shot on. And finally it gets some clearance by Pielwe. Southeast, of course, hold on to possession. Another throw in back-to-back for them. Turn by Lee. Southeast get the intercept. Zaria to Rian. Rian to Hus. Rian to Jean-Jacques. And not holding on to it, Hussey gets the intercept. Back to Jean-Jacques. And Portsmouth get the steal. Centre back attempting to push forward onto the wing, playing it down to the line. Rosalina didn't get access forward. Portsmouth do benefit as a result from a throw-in. Gives the team at least a chance to push some of the ladies forward. Rosalina playing to Joyce. Back to Rosalina on the left side. Chips it into the middle. And there's a run on the midfield. Portsmouth finally taking back a bit of possession, just slightly. PLW not rushing play. Slides it into the midfield, pushes one forward, and a good one forward on the right side. Number of options in, chips it in, pulls back a little bit, looking for options, hesitates a little bit, slides one in to number 6, shot, and it's off! A deflect by Chastity Baron. Hesitated a bit with the shot, but Southeast with the comeback. Kaylee Jean-Jacques and Shanita Casey denies her further access on the right side. Rian John Baptist with the throw-in. Kana down through to the middle. Southeast playing it down through the middle. Had someone on her back, didn't quite catch her as she thought. Southeast keep possession on the far end. Chips one over, and no one for Southeast at least advance to access it. Chastity for Portsmouth, she's under a bit of pressure by Brittany Pierre, and there's an interceptor by Southeast. It's a 3, it's a 1-on-1. Zaria Pascal into the center, and a shot at goal, and oh, a miss by the goalkeeper for Portsmouth, and Southeast have just balanced or started to balance the scales. So Kenisha John Lewis, the captain for number 3, scores the first goal in the 32nd minute of play by the Kenisha John Lewis, the number 3, in fact, the captain. And we can say that this is game on. A mistake by the goalkeeper, didn't quite get her hands onto the ball to control it, and it has cost the Portsmouth team a goal. Kaylee benefiting of a mistake from Cassie. PLW putting on a bit of pressure, and both of them go down. No foul call, keeps the ball into play. Really putting this Portsmouth team under a bit of pressure. Portsmouth playing it on the line. Rosalinda. Chastity. And a referee has, I believe, called back a foul. So Jessica PLW will get proceedings back. Portsmouth attempting to make for that mistake from I don't think that's the clearance option that they wanted, because right now Portsmouth has actually benefited from a corner, third corner for them of the game. Options inside, gets a bit of clearance. SouthEast finally clearing into the middle a bit, pushes forward, and there's a drive from the far end. Will she keep it in play? Yes, she does keep it in play. SouthEast hold on to possession, last touch of Portsmouth. And of course, Portsmouth benefiting from a mistake on the throw-in, attempting to take a very quick counter. Plays it down the line, and ball still in play in favor of Portsmouth. Long one forward. Keeps the option in. Chastity tries to hold on to it. Joyce penetrated into the middle, and it is just off again. Number of attempts by Portsmouth. "46 minutes of play, so just under 10 minutes to go in the first half. Intercept from the far end. Sierra. SouthEast gets a bit of aerial onto it. Finally back down. It's a sprint going forward, and she will lose the sprint. Shot at. So another attempt by SouthEast, just going wide of the goal, desperately looking for the equalizer as they're still in a bit of deficit. But Portsmouth taking a good advantage. In fact, having SouthEast 2-0. Portsmouth with the quick counter on the far end. Coming through to number 8, that's Joyce from the far end. Chips one inside and straight into the hands of the goalkeeper, Chastity Barron, of course, making herself available inside the 6-yard box. But that went straight into the goalkeeper's hands. Rosalina gets proceedings back into play for us. Patricia Pielwe, number 9 for Portsmouth, just allows the ball to go out, giving a team a chance to sort of set themselves up and slowing down proceedings. Gets the ball back into play for us, just off the 18-yard box, but it gets intercepted down in the center attacking midfield, spreads it left for Southeast. Recycles a little bit. She's under a bit of pressure. My Joyce. Southeast playing it down to the line. There's a run on the far end. She has some options. Will she take a shot at goal? Yes, she takes a shot at goal, and it's off again. Second attempt within the last 3 to 3.5 minutes, and just finding herself off again. Jessica PLB gets proceedings back in for us from the far end. Spreads it right. Drive on the right side. Good defensive play by Southeast. Good intercept by them as well. Allows the balls to pass one. And then to playing it into the middle. Pulls back a little bit of recycling on the far end. Not attempting, not pushing as they should, but the ball gets intercepted. Kaylee to Hussey. Hussey back to Kaylee. Hussey to Brittany. Pulls back a little bit. Turns. Taking her time and doesn't have the power on the shot that she probably should have. As the third or fourth attempt at goal within the last 3 to 4 minutes by Southeast. I suspect before the halftime they really will want to try to equalize. See, taking her time. Southeast playing it down to the middle. I don't think that's the shot that she should have been playing. This is more the shot that she should have been playing. At least tap on the option. Brittany spreads it back into the middle. She's under a bit of pressure there. Good intercept, and it's going to be a fight for it. It's a 2-on-1 fight. Foul against one of the PLV sisters, one of the goal scorers, of course. Rosalina beating one, beating two, doesn't get past three. Jessica keeping balls back down. Ciara in through to the middle. Turn to Joyce. Joyce on the right side. She's under a bit of pressure. Pulls it to Rosalina. Back to Joyce on the right side. Pushes through. Sprint in, and the defensive block was waiting for her, being in a perfect position. Giving a corner, but of course, being in a perfect position to not allow any further access to goal. Fourth corner for Portsmouth. As the minutes wind down in the first half. And back-to-back corners. As the drizzles from the heavens open up on to our field. Of course, not affecting the field. Probably affecting a bit of the ball and the performance and probably the players. Back-to-back corners. Gets a bit of altitude on it. clearance. And she will allow it to go out this time for a throw in. I think the ball was just a little too high for her on that particular play on the far end for Southeast. Just deciding literally at the last second just to allow it to just go out of play. Portsmouth keep possession for the past few moments. And Southeast have retaken possession at this time. Coyote Matthew, the man in the middle tonight. That's our referee, the man in the middle. Of course, the ladies have fallen back. Just two of the midfield line staying back. Everyone, in fact, no one is on the back end. Long one forward. Gets intercepted by Pierre-Louis. As the rains come down on us tonight. And that's the halftime mark from the Stock Farm Technical Center. As exactly on the dot. So the halftime marker from the Portsmouth Technical Center. Patricia Pierre-Louis in the 9th minute and Jessica Pierre-Louis, the Pierre-Louis sisters, put in one goal each, one in the 9th minute, one in the 20th minute, and Kenisha John Lewis in the 33rd minute. That's proceedings as the rains have opened up from the heavens at the Stock Farm Technical Center. We're going to come back in within the next 15 minutes to this women's game, Portsmouth and Southeast from the Stock Farm Technical Center. Proceedings are back on the way at the Stock Farm Technical Center in this 2-1 encounter in this wonderful women's game. It's the Portsmouth women versus the Southeast women. 2-1 in favor of Portsmouth. Of course, a very quick recap. The PLW sisters, Patricia and Jessica, 1 apiece for them. And Kenisha John Lewis benefiting of a mistake of the Portsmouth goalkeeper, putting 1 in through to the net. Portsmouth giving away early possession just seconds into the second half. So that's the recap as we have commenced second half proceedings from the Stock Farm Technical Center. The rains, of course, have come down. Southeast take a throw in. A long one. Brings it back down. Spreads it on the defensive line, and Portsmouth will take back possession. Patricia Pielui, one of the goal scorers. Into Rosalina. It's 2-on-1. Southeast playing it in through to the middle. Through ball, playing it down through to the middle. And Kenisha, the goal scorer, not able to get through. Slippery conditions, of course, showing themselves right now. And the back line just holding on. Number 19, Christina Sobers for Portsmouth, attempting to make a run forward. Hussey. So Southeast have benefited from a corner, first corner of the second half. 48 minutes in. And it is completely to the side nets. She's beating herself a little bit. Patricia. Ooh, doesn't quite hold on to it. Chastity. Playing it to Rian on the back line. Rian pushing forward down through to the middle. Gets an intercept. And Hussey attempting to get access to it. Doesn't quite get to it. Rosalina playing to Christina. A little bit of a scramble on the back line for Southeast. Not playing a bit disorganized, the back line. And finally, they're making chase on the far end. Southeast looking for options. Slides one through. Pushes one. Shots! And it's to the side. First attempt at shot at goal comes from Southeast from the right wing, pushing forward. Goes straight to the net, but Portsmouth attempting a quick counter, not getting through. Or did they get through to Patricia? And Patricia losing possession. Saria Coffee, the number 9, was the one who made Patricia lose possession. Pielui gets balls back into play to Chastity. And our first ball being thrown out of the compound completely. Not that far off. Patricia Pielui gets proceedings back in for us shortly. The ball is just on the side. Christina, 2-on-1, and succumbs to the pressure. Patricia, and it's linesman deeming a goal kick. So a reset. Keeps it short. Centre back playing forward. John Lewis with possession. In through to the middle. They hold on to it. The slippery conditions. You have to take that into consideration. Oh, and it's a good throw for Southeast. It's going to be one-on-one shot on, and it's blocked by the goalkeeper. What a save by the goalkeeper. That's Shante Hazel, the goalkeeper. It was a strong one-on-one challenge to her, and she faced up to the challenge. Shante Hazel, the goalkeeper for the Portsmouth team, getting proceedings back into play. Playing it into the middle. Turns with the ball. And the back line for SouthEast just waiting for her. Gets an aerial. Ball back down. SouthEast pushing through. Shot on, and not the kind of power that she probably should have had onto the ball. But she had a number of options available to her. In fact, she had Kelsey Hussey was available to her. I thought she would have probably taken her time to play it to Kelsey, who was deep inside the 18-yard box. Decided to go solo with that mission. And the slippery conditions on the field are definitely showing themselves. Portsmouth attempting to get the ball back into play. The slippery conditions have lost them possession. Foul throw. And Portsmouth will take full benefit of that. Gets them back in possession. Playing it down through to the middle. It's gonna be a run. Decides to send it all the way back to Hazel. Gets proceedings back into the middle for us. But SouthEast take possession on the far end, right side. Turn with it. Playing it from the right down through to the middle. And she was waiting for her, the number 9, Sarah Coffey. So we're just about 55 minutes of play at this time. Just about 55 minutes. Portsmouth gets ball back into play. intercept. Southeast. Playing down through to the middle. Another intercept by Portsmouth. Playing it into the middle to Patricia Pielwe. 2 Pielwes on the team. You have to be very specific. Lewis. John Lewis. In fact, John Lewis making a sprint for it. Pulls back a little bit. She's looking for some help. Oh, attempts a slide through. And the slippery conditions. And yes, we can definitely see the slippery conditions on the field have taken their effect on national player Kelsey Hussey. Attempting to get possession, but the slippery conditions on the field. Rains, of course, continuing on us. Portsmouth taking back possession. Patricia to Rosalina. No one there to answer. In fact, almost giving it away. SouthEast playing it in through to the middle. They have a number of options inside. Chips one over, and John Lewis just touches it. It's going to be one-on-one. Tries to beat the keeper, and the keeper earning her pay tonight. Hazel definitely earning her pay tonight. Second big save in a short time. But Hussey getting the steal. Back to John Lewis on the left side, and it's another steal. It's a good challenge by Hussey. Number 7, Destiny Francois, giving a bit of challenge to national player Kelsey Hussey. But chips one over, and again, Hazel. That was a easy pickup by Hazel. But Hazel showing her might tonight. Goalkeeper for Portsmouth. Definitely showing her worth, avoiding another goal being scored on her tonight. Kelsey Hussey taking her time, showing why she is a national player, playing it through to the right side, not rushing the play. Chips one inside. She was looking for John Lewis, but the offside flag goes up against SouthEast. A few of the players a bit disappointed. Kenisha John Lewis, the goal scorer, just finding herself just slightly offside, call by the linesman on the far end. But it's a quick counter for Portsmouth, and the defensive line, the 2-lady defensive line, was just waiting for them. It's actually a 3 versus 2, 3 attacking and 2. A bit of reinforcement finally falling back. It's now 4, now 5. Attempted at intercept on the far end. Playing it back to the keeper. Hussey. Looking for John Lewis as yet. Yes, she will slide through. John Lewis having to come out. John Lewis putting herself under a bit of pressure. Has to get a bit of clearance and loses the ball to Joyce. Joyce, one-on-one. No challenge onto her as yet. Playing it from the right side, inside. Makes a turn with it, and it gets cleared away. Back to the right side for a throw-in. So the number 7, Destiny Francois for Portsmouth, has gone down. Of course, going down to an injury. The medics for the Portsmouth team coming on. Easily tonight, SouthEast would have definitely taken probably 3 goals so far on them. Hazel definitely putting in the work in the goal for her team tonight. 60 minutes in, still 2-1 at the Stock Farm Technical Center. In just a slight favor to Portsmouth at this time. Senior number 7, Destiny Francois, being assisted off the field. So she's properly checked until she's in good order to come back onto the field. All right, ball back in play in favor of Portsmouth. And Joyce Oludoyi not getting further access. Throw-in by Joyce. Rosalina, back to Joyce, chips it in, and Southeast is waiting for her, or was waiting for her, slips it in. Hussey, only lady forward for Southeast. Thought that ball would have been crossed to her much earlier, but Hussey actually having to step in fact, fall back to the center attacking midfield and step back in because she lost her teammate, lost possession. 2-on-1 opportunity. Portsmouth not rushing the play, but not being able to so far crack open. And Hussey with a breakthrough. Hussey was attempting the sprint. And Jessica Pielwe won that sprint with her, or against her, or with her, either or. John Lewis. Rebecca loses possession. Joyce playing it on the line, into the middle, intercept. Southeast intercept, in through to the middle. Hussey goes down and foul. Sarah Coffey with a shot at goal, and it definitely has been deflected. Again, the conditions on the field, the drainage conditions, of course, are very favorable. You know, the field drains, you know, relatively good here, but still the surface moisture, and of course, from the shoes and the socks, and of course, you know, otherwise, you know, does affect how play. On the wing, it's a run. And Joyce will not get to it. Leaves it for the keeper. And the keeper gets a clearance. Still gives Portsmouth possession. Rosalinda Paul to Joyce. Rosalinda again. And a foul throw by Rosalinda Paul. Rosalinda gets the intercept. Puts Hussey under a bit of pressure. Hussey having to succumb to that down in the middle. But SouthEast just waiting for possession back in the middle. They played beautifully, spreads it right. Was a good throw as a good throw. Southeast pushing on the right side. Nobody there, and she goes down. The ball will be allowed to just roll out for a corner. Ball back in play. Into the middle. Shot on. Again. A goalkeeper definitely showing a worth tonight. Hazel for Portsmouth. Bit of nervous seconds there for Portsmouth. Into the middle. Another corner for Southeast, but nonetheless, at least not a goal. She was attempting to slice that one through. I definitely misjudged the slicing. So proceedings have slowed down a little bit at the Portsmouth Technical Center in this women's game. The Portsmouth Bombers from Portsmouth and the Southeast Ladies playing tonight. So far, it's 2-1 in favor of Portsmouth. Coffee spreading it very, very, very wide and very right. Almost giving away possession there. In fact, giving away possession to Portsmouth at this time. Pretty sure Portsmouth will be happy to take back possession. It's a fight down through to midfield. 2-on-1. Not a bad play by national player Kelsey Hussey. Of course, at least providing the option to go for the ball. Again, the conditions on the field. Not making that as an excuse, by the way, just at least showing it to you. Joyce, the lady so far has been attempting to push forward for Portsmouth. Referee Coyote citing an infraction on the field against Portsmouth. Gives possession back to Southeast. Coach for the Portsmouth ladies. Just encouraging his ladies to at least try to see if they can get back one. Maurice Joseph attempting to pass it to Hussey. Didn't get the final touches on it. Intercept by Hussey there. Gets the ball back down to Rosalinda. Oh, and it's a good intercept to Kaylee Jean-Jacques. Back to Jean-Jacques, and it's a bit of an overhead, but she still keeps ball in play. Jean-Jacques. Hussey taking her time. Back to Maurice Joseph. Back to Hussey from the left side. She's looking for options. It's 2-on-1. She's under a bit of pressure. Plays it back to Maurice. Maurice slides one through. She has to recycle back to Sarah Coffey. Plays one forward. Straight into goalkeeper. That's Sarah Coffee. Southeast from the far end. Slides one in, and it's two-woman defense was waiting for her. Rosalinda. Back to Rosalinda. She has the option. Slides one through to Pielwi on the far end. That's Patricia. Patricia is a fight. Oh, and gets the ball taken from her on the far end. Turns with it. But it's an intercept right there. Shot on. And just wide by Rosalinda Paul. Looking for goal number 3. Portsmouth are looking for it. Southeast are also looking for the equalizer at this time. So both teams really knocking on the goal doors. Who will have the better of it? Time will tell. Maris playing it from the left side. It's a good throw to Kaylee. It's going to be a one-on-one. Oh, it's a flop of the goalkeeper, and an almost mistake again by the goalkeeper. But her defensive line really working in a fantastic teamwork with her, just shadowing the ball out. Coach for the Portsmouth team once again calling for his ladies to at least score one more. But that's a good throw. Chastity not having enough fuel to make the run for it. But Maris Joseph to Kelsey Hussey. Kelsey Hussey recycling back a little bit. In fact, recycling back a bit more to midfield. Spreads it right. Zaria Pascal, the number 10, probably just deciding it was just a bit out of her range. But Southeast intercept the ball, and another interception by Portsmouth. Jessica Pielwi with that interceptor on the back line. Hussey into the middle. Oh, good flick of the heel there. She's under a bit of pressure. Two-on-one, and a foul against Southeast. Well, a bit of a lull moment as we have one of the players from Southeast down at this time. Of course, her technical staff and medics just checking up on her. Not sure if it's actually 2 players down, one is down, and I guess the other lady is just resting a bit. Referee Matthew Coyote just overseeing proceedings on that particular end. So we are just about 75 minutes into play. Not sure how much added time will be given with this particular injury going on, but I suspect we may see maybe an addition 1 or 2 minutes at least so far of added time. When that time reaches, of course, we will tell you. Number of the players just enjoying the rest time as well. Not seen Jessica Pierre-Louis in that much of active action. So right now, Southeast are 1 player down. So Southeast are 1 player down, with the hope that it will not affect their performance on the field. Coach, of course, the coach will have to tactically work his way. Hussey providing a wonderful option to Jean-Jacques. Jean-Jacques, will she keep the ball in play? Yes, she will keep the ball in play. Back to Hussey. No. In fact, gets intercepted by the back line for Portsmouth. So a throw-in for Southeast. So back-to-back throw-ins for Southeast. Deeper inside, looking for Hussey. Didn't quite get to Hussey. Joyce, the lady, pushing forward. Sort of recycling all the way back. Rosalinda. Patricia. Patricia pushing forward, sprinting run. It's actually 3-on-1 against Patricia, and Patricia loses. Oh, does she lose? Yes, she does end up losing. She lost the first time. Tried for the second one on the flick. Still ended up losing to it. But the might and power of Patricia making the sprint, it had to take 3 Southeast players to sort of hold her down a bit. Options inside. Chastity. Chastity shot on. Very soft attempt by Chastity. Maris not able to have control of it and gives it away. Shante Casey will get proceedings back into play for us with a throw-in. Slips through her feet. Options in. Finally getting an aggressive clearance forward. Kaylee. It's 2-on-1 if Kaylee. Kaylee making a sprint for it. She's under a bit of pressure. Loses to the pressure. And a giveaway. Yeah. So just about 8 more minutes of play into the second half. KC with a throw-in. Zaria gets one in, looking for John Lewis. Didn't get to John Lewis. In fact, gets intercepted. And it's just been toggling between transitions and possessions. It's going to be a very, very, very easy pickup for the goalkeeper, Hazel, Shante Hazel. Handball. Open up the defense somewhere like that. Nice. You take one. You take one already. Finally seeing some action from Jessica Pierre-Louis. Suspect she's going to go very long with it. Indeed, she does go. She was looking for Patricia, who had actually advanced herself forward, but it got headed out. Yet another intercept by Maris. Maris attempting to play it down through to the middle to no one. 2-1 encounter so far. Still a bit of time left. Not much though, but still a bit of time. And the Portsmouth backline has just not been able to penetrate in the second half. A miss by the goalkeeper, almost making a mistake there. Finally getting a bit of clearance. Playing it to Maris on the left side. Maris to Hussey in through to the middle. Hussey under a bit of pressure. Back to Maris on the left side. It's a group effort by Portsmouth at this time on the defensive line. And the offside flag has gone up. PLW, long one forward. To Sarah. Sarah to Joyce. Joyce from the right side. Slips, in fact. Ball still in play. Someone at her back didn't quite catch to it. Hussey just letting it slide through to Maris. Maris to Kaylee Jean-Jacques, and Kaylee Jean-Jacques losing a bit of steam on the run. But a good throw from Hussey to Maris, and Maris to Jean-Jacques on the left side there, almost catching Portsmouth off their guard just slightly. So far, good play by both teams. Maris with the intercept. And I see the number one photographer not wanting to get into any action tonight. Just allowing the ball to pass through him. Oh, yes. We do have to remain as neutral as possible. I agree with him on that one. So Maris gets the ball back into play. Looking for Kaylee Jean-Jacques. Recycles back. John Lewis, Kenisha John Lewis spreads it right to midfield. Midfield pushing forward on the right wing. It's going to be intercepted, definitely going to be intercepted. And how fast will the counter come through? Let's see. Not as fast as I actually expected. Thought a much quicker counter from Portsmouth would have come through. Playing it down through to the middle. Looking for Joyce and didn't quite get to Joyce. Goalkeeper will just take a scoop. John Lewis. Portsmouth at this time just basically looking to just kill time. Just about 3 more minutes of regulation time. I'm not sure how much added time will referee Coyote Matthew allow or will want to allow. Joyce. Well, if I had to give a woman of the match, I would definitely give it Ali Andajezme to the... What, yes? I'm not allowed to say it as yet, but I will say it very soon. So Jessica Pielwe of the ever-famous... Oh, and it's on, almost missed by the goalkeeper. Had it in her hands. Slipped out of her hands. Back to Jessica. Long one again. Oh, and it scores! The infamous long one by Jessica Pielwe from the midfield. That gives Portsmouth a comfortable edge. In the 89th minute. Long one again. In the 88th minute, sorry. 88th minute. Jessica Pielwe from just off midfield with her famous long shots that we know her for, puts number 3 for Portsmouth. And I think the coach for Portsmouth will rest comfortably tonight on the drive back down. And referee Coyote Matthew deciding that it is on the dot. And the woman of the match, I think we will definitely give it to Jessie. Well, my toss was between the goalkeeper and Jessica Pielwe, but I think Jessica Pielwe with that final 88th minute shot just off midfield, what she's known for. She's known for those beautiful long shots that she gives, will be the player of the match tonight in this 3-1 encounter. So 2 for Jessica Pielwe. She punched one in the 9th minute, and she punched the final one in the 88th minute. Jessica Pielwe in the 20th minute, and captain for Southeast, Kenisha John Lewis, in the 33rd minute, conclude proceedings tonight for us in this wonderful women's game at the Portsmouth, at the Stock Farm Technical Center. Don't forget, finale action tomorrow. Division 1 third and fourth place finale action takes place from 4 o'clock. RC Doctors takes on St. Joseph for third and fourth. And for bragging rights, I know the entire team of Stream Genius will be there. Not sure who they'll be supporting, but I know usually whoever they're supporting, they usually come with the team colors. We saw that happening a few times. We didn't actually say it, but bragging rights tomorrow. Bathurst State versus the Do It Center Mighty Avengers. That's from 7 o'clock. And of course, that's live on DFA. Thank you very much for joining us tonight in this women's game, this wonderful women's game. My name is Joseph Fadul. Abby Lawrence was also around for support, and the entire team of Stream Genius. Good night from the Technical Center.